Good morning. What's up, guys? How are you doing? I'm so excited to be drawing with you guys today. It is a good day because we get to draw, and that is something to be celebrated. Good morning, amazing creators. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Zoe. What does it mean by light and dark characters? Good question that I will be sure to answer throughout today's episode. You'll just have to wait and see. Trying to build up the suspense. Yeah, trust me, you'll like it though. It'll be good. All right, so for our class today, let's go through our morning game plan. So today we're going to start off with the art review, which is going to be awesome and fun because some of you sent in some stuff that I was able to include, so that's cool. And here we go. Let me show you that. There we go. So our morning game plan, then we're going to do our quote of the day that you can see up the top, like right there. Then we're going to go to drawing dark characters, then do a karate break, then do light, and then do our challenge of the day, and then we're going to see you next time. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to switch the light and dark characters, so we're going to do light first and then dark, but other than that, everything up there is exactly correct, okay? Let's do it. Close. Yes, kind of. All right, our review for today. I was looking at Blake's answer for good and evil. All right, we have Zoe. Crushed it. Love it. So good. Very nice job. I love your sketches. They remind me very much of like martial arts sketches. I think like Bruce Lee and his wife, because after a certain point he wasn't able to type or do anything himself, so he wrote a book, and then his wife actually, like, he dictated the book and his wife wrote it down and then drew the sketches in the book. I have it. It's a really good book. It's like a martial arts book, but it also has like a lot of life lessons in it. And that's what it reminds me of. You also drew another one of your characters for your story, which is fantastic. I even love the way that you shaded the boots. Very nicely done. And the whole like downward face and the smile and everything, very, very good characteristic. You have so much that you're sharing just in the pose of the character, which is great. Mateo did some awesome drawings with I'm so excited. He did some awesome drawings with a cat playing baseball and a cat laying down, which I think is hilarious. Really cool. Playing with slime, that's the way to go. Slime in the morning, ain't no better thing. Mateo, though, nice job, really cool. I like that you drew the characters with your own twist. And then Noah G, very cool. I love the colors that you used for these. Really nice, especially like I love how they're overlapping. I think this is probably from our episode where we learned how to draw plants. Really cool. I love, yeah, even how with the grass you gave it like a little bit of green and everything too. And the sunlight and the water and the fish, and the river. Really cool. Nice job, guys. Cool. So always impressed with you guys. Yeah, keep on sending me more stuff. I just love it. Like, it just makes me so happy. Yeah. Let's go. On to quote of the day. Oh, if you want to send in your artwork, you can. I'm acting like I don't know my own class. If you want to send me your own artwork, you can send it to me at noahfontana@gmail.com. So send it over. Glad to be here today because I have no school. Ooh, no school, Jet. Lucky duck. Okay. You already made 8 slimes. Wow. Are they all the same color? That's the real question. Are they like oobleck slimes, like from Dr. Seuss? You never know. All right, our quote of the day comes from Francis Bacon. He was a philosopher. He did a lot for science too, and how you think about things in science. This is his Pokemon card that somebody made up that I loved. They say like philosopher Bacon influenced the Enlightenment through his contribution to the statesman and philosopher by challenging tradition and supporting systematic scientific methods. Yeah, that's pretty much what he did. Um, and that's apparently worth 30 points. So it's pretty cool. If you were a Pokemon card, what type of Pokemon would you be? What like HP would you be? Whatever the little circle type Pokemon you are. I think is this Psychic? Is that what they mean by the little purple eye or Ghost type? I forget. I can't believe I forgot. Um. Anyway, they're different colors. Okay. Oh, gotcha. For the slimes. Yes. I thought we were talking about the Pokemon for a second. Yeah. What type of Pokemon card would you be? Um, Let me know in the comments, obviously. And Francis said, in order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. And that's such a cool um, scientific concept, but also like a life concept where uh, would we appreciate the things that were good if it was always like that? I think a lot of the times we get stuck into a rhythm where things are just going our way, or you're probably like, that never happens to me. But we get sucked into a rhythm where you just expect good things to happen or certain good things to happen. You expect to uh, wake up and like there not to be a flood in your apartment, you know? Like you expect to wake up and like your car to work. And really that's kind of just a toss up. Like you could take care of it and everything, but even when you do your best to do everything right, sometimes bad things do happen. And I think that those bad things that happen really make us appreciate the fact that they're not happening right now, you know, or maybe some things are, but some things aren't happening right now that have happened in the past. Uh, I say a car because that's always been a problem for me. I've always had cars that seem to like have bad issues and stuff, and now I finally don't have a car that has issues. And I definitely take it for granted, and I definitely don't appreciate it as much as it was annoying when it didn't work, if that makes sense. So I think when things are going bad, we seem to make a big deal out of it. But then when things are going good, we kind of just like, yep, this is what it should be. It should be good. Anyway, not to get all into that, but more than I have already. He also helped with the scientific method, which I think is just a cool thing to have help with. Science is a great subject. I loved it in school. And the scientific method is ask a question, address a problem, do some research, make a hypothesis, like a guess almost, an educated guess, and then experiment to try to test your hypothesis out. Then do analysis. Then you might have to go back to research and around, or analysis. You figured it out. Then you get to your conclusion and win the science fair. Yeah. You'd be a 250 HP, an electric type, and you'd be a wolf Pokemon. Ooh, an electric wolf. That's pretty cool, Jet. I like that. Bacon sounds like that. There's a bunch of pictures with Francis Bacon with a pig nose on his face, too, which I thought was hilarious. I like the scientific method, too, because I feel like that's kind of how artists go about our projects. Like, that's how I do it, at least. Where it's like we have a problem, which is like we need to illustrate this article for a magazine, for example. And then you have to do all this research. You look into it. You start doing your hypothesis, which is like your thumbnail sketches. Then you experiment by actually like going forwards with one that you think is cool. And then you now analyze it and you see if that's like still the best one and the color's right. And then you pitch it to your art director. And then you get paid for that work. So I think that's pretty cool in that sense. The scientific method is a lot like the artistic method. Okay, if you don't know about the Pokemon, don't even worry about that. Score Bunny is like one of the only Pokemons I know. Oh man, I thought Pokemon was more popular still. I guess not. Okay. Quote of the day, though. Let's switch it up. Shift gears to slow it down. Okay, so as we take a moment to breathe, close your eyes and think about a dark time you've experienced, okay? If you guys will venture with me. Think about a dark time you've experienced, and like Francis said, for light to shine so brightly, darkness must be present. In the darkness you experience, what was the light that helped you find a way out? So most of, I think, our dark experiences have ended, and then we might get into new ones. But each time they end, there usually is something that has helped us through that in some way. And it could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a movie that like inspired you or something like that. It could be an art piece, it could be a song. Um, what was the light that you discovered and that you connected to? Because sometimes you don't connect with, say, like songs, for example. You don't connect with them on that level where they can make you cry unless you've experienced some darkness. And that's a beautiful thing, to connect to a song in that way, or a person that way. And that's what happens when we experience darkness or sadness, is that it enables us to connect with other people and other things. Even connecting to a song is like connecting to another person, because the person who wrote that song wrote it so that people can connect. Let's not only remember that light, but also let's not only remember the light, but also appreciate the darkness today. For without it, we might not have experienced the light in such a powerful way. So for right now, let's open our eyes to the light and the dark, and let's draw. Okay, so we're gonna actually start with the light. And for the light, I picked a lot of, there we go, a lot of light white animals. So now for this one, we're going to try a new method where we're going to, here's an example of what I drew. So in this way, I kind of carved out the animal out of the white. So I didn't actually draw the white, I just drew the darkness around it. That way we can see the light parts. Okay, so we're going to try to draw that together. There we go. All right. Good. Okay. So instead of doing like a stick figure like we usually do, we're going to try to just color in the space around. Yeah, you saw the bunny. Okay. No sneak peeks yet, though. Okay. We're going to try to carve in the light around it, and try to kind of shade in the space, and then show that you can see the light even if you're only drawing the darkness. So this is going to be the back arch. And you could always erase into it too. And I love that there's this little guy right here, just completely plopped out and knocked out. So funny. Oh, good, Carol. I can't draw my iPad out of battery. Jet, do you have any paper? You can always draw on paper. Oh, have you guys seen this joke, by the way? I'm going to pause it for a second. Where it's like, have you seen that joke where it's like, do you know what this is? And then the joke is, it's a polar bear in a blizzard with its eyes closed. So bad. Okay. Back to our drawing. Okay. Let's see. So we're just carving out the shapes around that don't actually touch that aren't the polar bear. This is just a different way to look at it. We're looking at the relationship between the foot and the little polar bear baby cub and the mama. And what's cool is that this gives it a really cool, interesting effect. It almost makes it look like almost like a cave drawing, I want to say. I mean, you get to the point like right here where we've done all we can and we have to draw a couple of lines for the characters, then we can draw that too. go. Looking good. You see how just this shape right here can already give the illusion of like legs on the character. What were I towards you? Mewtwo, Tentacruel. Oh yes, we're trying to sell. Hey, you guys looked ahead. You guys are quick. Cool. All right. I love how helpful you guys are to each other. Thank you for being that way. All right. Let's see. And then now we can add in a couple more of the details that you don't really see if you were just doing the outline. And right now I'm shading and I'm erasing some of the parts of it just to give them a little softer edge. So it makes it almost look like the sun is hitting it like that. There we go. Nice. All right. How'd you guys like that? Looks like Polar Bear. Polar Bear, what do you see? Oh yeah. What's up, Mo? Good morning. Jed, I think you're gonna have to maybe use a marker or a Sharpie too. All right. Let's move on to our adorable little cute bunny. Okay. For this one, let's start by trying to use only colors. So we can use anything. So we can color it any way we want. We're not gonna do the stick figure thing, but we're just gonna try to work the colors in. So it's best to start with light colors. And for this one, I'm going to switch to a 6B pencil pen, just because that's going to be a little bit easier to get like a gradient. So let's pick this nice, really light pink color. And we'll start by shading in where the ears are. I'm going to start really, really light for this, okay? And if you don't have any colors, you can still use just a regular black, like a graphite pencil, and just sketch things in really, really lightly. There we go. We're going to try and build this almost like it's a painting. So for painting, they say to start with the lightest colors, the lightest lights, and the darkest darks. Actually, they say to start with the midtones first, which we didn't do. Here we go. Let's do. See some shading. Right now we're just slowly shading the whole thing in. We're adding, just by adding colors. This is almost like how I would color if I was using watercolors. Yeah, that's more what it's like. Not oil painting, but like watercolor painting. Okay, good. Okay, Jet, sounds good. Costly Charmander, Moltres. Oh, you got all of them. That's all. You're just naming Pokemon now, Carl. We will have to use a little bit of what we just learned with the polar bear, where we draw the background to get that color. Because if it's just white, everything around it's got to be the defining outline. There we go. Nice. Alright. Looking good, looking good. So a little bit more shadows and dark to the nose. Alright. Oh, it's Charizard. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, of course you can draw the animals in different poses if you want to. Yeah. Alright. Let's add just a little bit darker tone color for this. Voila. Almost done. Here we go. All right. How's that looking for you guys? Okay. Last one. Okay, so now this one's kind of funny. So we can draw a cool snow leopard like this. But then I started looking at snow leopards leaping because I always, when I was a kid, I always thought it was so cool when animals were jumping and like leaping through the air. And snow leopards are hilarious when they're jumping. So these are some of the cooler pictures in the comments already. Let me know what you want to draw. If you want to draw like a cool snow leopard, like one of these like leaping ones, or if you want to draw a more funny one, because the funny ones are pretty hilarious. Here we go. Ready? And I thought these were so funny. I just like they're looking completely sprawled out, like with the tail curling around. Like it looks so goofy. I was laughing pretty hard last night when I was making this. Your 7-year-old so freaked out. I don't know if you know. Oh, cool. All right, so should we do snow leopards goofy jumping like that, or should we do snow leopards in all of their glory like this? Okay. Take a sip of water while you guys comment. Goofy jumping it is then. All right, let's do it. I was hoping you guys would say that. These are too funny to not do. All right. I think this one's the way to go here. Cool. All right. Let's do some goofy jumping. All right. Cool. All right, for this one, let's try to do it like with our action figures, with the especially you guys like the goofy ones. All right. I loved it. I love that you guys are excited that I found that too. I was so excited. Okay, here we go. So for this one, let's actually try to do. Should we try to do a quick couple-minute pose? Let's see if we can get the goofiness in a time limit. Okay, let's try. Let's try 1 minute. Try to get the pose down. Okay, I want to time ourselves. Make it nice and loud so you guys can hear it. So 1 minute. Let's try to get the pose, and then we'll go in and take some time to actually draw the actual animal on top. Ready, set, go. Okay, we got 40 seconds left. $25 seconds left. $15 seconds left. I think this leg could be goofier, so I'm gonna spread it out a little bit more. 6 seconds left. And that's time. All right. Nice job, guys. I'm sure you kept up. Okay. There's our fearsome leopard cat. Snow leopard. What am I even saying? Okay. And let's let's paint over him. Just like we were doing with the other ones, but this time we're going to paint over it too. We're just trying a different method each time. I love it. Did you guys know I wanted to be a zoologist before in high school? In high school, I wanted to be a comic book artist, but before that, I wanted to be a zoologist or zoologist, depending on how you say it. Okay, Jet, see you back in a second. But yeah, zoologist studies all the different kinds of animals. Okay, so let's shade this guy in really quick. You know, I'm feeling like using, let's use a watercolor brush. Now you guys can still color in whatever way you want, but if you have this, I'm going to use one of my watercolor brushes. Let me see. Too big. There we go. This is what I wanted. Okay. I'm going to lighten up the sketch. If you have your watercolors handy, you can use those too. If you don't, all good. There we go. Okay. You can still do this with colored pencils if you want to. I'm just going to try it out just for if you guys want to try it out, just to show you guys. Now if you look, where there's the fur, it's actually pretty dark gray. So we can color that in really dark gray too. I'm going to actually make this gray a little bit bluer. Just because gray looks weird when it's just gray. There we go. It's about time to do karate now, so we're going to finish this guy up. Let's draw this dark background around him. I'm using this ink bleed brush so that it'll make it look more furry on the outside. There we go. More furry for the tiger. So instead of actually trying to draw the different individual fur, there we go. I'm going to add this brush that has like a spiked bleed effect. Add some spots to him really quick. Mine looks freaked out. Cool. All right. Just checking up with you guys in the comments to make sure everybody's doing okay. I mean, in your defense though, if your big snow leopard cat looks like he's freaked out, I think aside from the expression on the actual picture, this cat would look pretty freaked out too. All right. Let's leave it at that for right now. We can always go in and add some ink later. Okay. Now, we're going to switch on to our karate break. Let's stretch. Raise your arms up really high. Okay, good. Just doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, it does not have to be perfect. Okay, stretch your arm to the right, like this. Yeah, I'm going to do this on. Stretch your arms to the right. Good. Stretch your arms to the left. Good. Stretch them before over your head like this. Good. Stretch them this way. Pull down your elbow. Good. Sit up straight. Stretch your back. Good. All right. Tilt your head to the left, to the right. Up, down, left, right. All right. And bend your wrist back to stretch out your tendons. There we go. Like that. Stretch out these ones just like this. There we go. And then twist your wrist like that. Good. All right. Oh, very cool that you're going over your bunny with watercolor, Blake. All right. There we go. Now, if you guys are loosened up, you guys can grab some water too. And we'll move on. Now, instead of doing our light characters like this says, we're going to switch to our dark characters. So here are our dark characters. So this one does happen to be a villain. Not all of the ones that we're going to do are villains. But let's draw this guy. This is Boba Fett. We had a request for Boba Fett. Oh, sorry you lost internet, Mo. I pretty much just collected a bunch of your requests together and fit them into either light or dark characters. So these were all things that you guys have requested in the past. All right, so let's pick this like dark red character. Let's go, since this one is a painted picture, let's go about this as if we were going to paint it. So we're going to pick like this middle tone right here. Okay, no peeking. Don't look at what I just showed you. Okay. So we're going to just block in this character by color. Just using one color. Now, if you're doing this with like colored pencil, just make sure you don't do it too dark because this should only be like the middle color, the middle tone, they say. Because we're going to go over this with a darker color. So we're going to want to be able to cover this color. This is just kind of like a sketch. So we're just kind of scribbling in a character, getting the general shape of him. There we go. I mean, this could be the Mandalorian for all we know. Like, it doesn't have to be Boba Fett because I mean, I'm not gonna say that they basically are the same character. Don't get mad at me. I didn't say that yet. But they come from the same group of characters. The tribe, the Mandalorians. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, with painting, what they tell us to do next is they tell us This would be like oil painting now. Well, I already added our other dark characters, but if you want to draw an orca, I can definitely add that to the list. I'll add it. Maybe we should have like a movie themed one, so we can do. Wait, an orca? Hold on. I was definitely thinking that you said orc. I'm gonna write down orca and look that up later. What is an orca? Is that like the animal? The mammal? The one that's like with the killer whales and stuff like that? Is that what an orca is? Yeah, cough, cough. Oh, sorry, Lillian. I knew that too, and I totally forgot. And I was like, I think that's somebody else, but I didn't want to say it wrong, so I just stuck with right. Like, okay. And I didn't have my note out. I completely forgot. I put it away by accident. I've been cleaning up my apartment a lot now that we're stuck inside all day. Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna, on top of this layer, we're gonna add the lighter tones. So we're gonna do the lightest lights and the darkest darks. I would start with the lightest lights. So let's start with this kind of cool blue color that we've got right here. I think this is the color. So let's see. So this would be this color right here. Oh, I'm so close. Look at that. Almost got it. Exactly right. Let's see. So we're going to start highlighting things in like this. Do the fingers. There we go. Now, obviously, this works better with actual paint, but if you're doing this with colored pencils or watercolors, watercolors you would start with the lightest colors, not the lightest darks and the darkest darks. You would just start with the lightest and then build your way into that. Let's also draw some of these. Yeah, let's. There we go. That's better. Let's also draw some of those flames in the background. All right. I think there's some like actual white highlights like on the tops of these right here. There we go. All right. I think those are the lightest lights. Let's do the darkest darks now. So the darkest darks, I mean, that gets pretty dark right here. There we go. Voila. Okay, if you drew too dark, and honestly, like I've done this a lot, so I know I have a better idea of what's too dark and what's too light. So you might need to do it a couple times, and that's only going to make you better as an artist, which is kind of cool because then there's really no wrong way to do it. You're just going to keep on learning and growing. So there's no like irreversible mistakes when you're just trying out drawings. A lot of the times, I think Picasso said it too. You discover new things. I mean, I think every artist knows it and says it. By mistakes, you kind of learn something else too. Benjamin Franklin said that he didn't. He still learned, even though it took him over 100 times to figure out how to make the light bulb. He was like, I was learning the entire time because now I know 100. He's like, now I know 99 ways to not make a light bulb. Um, Alright, I think I made the background too dark actually too. But since I have it on a different layer, which if you're drawing on a tablet, definitely draw on a different layer. If you're drawing on paper, you could still draw on a different layer, but you would have to use like the light box technique where you hold it up to a window. Maybe I'll explain that in one of my like smaller nugget videos that we're going to do instead of our Friday videos. If there's any concepts that I bring up and you guys would like to know more about, let me know. That's what we're going to do for the Friday videos instead. And those won't be live, those are going to be pre-recorded, but they're going to be shorter. And we're just going to, I'm going to try to go over things that I talked about in these lessons that you guys needed more help with, or wanted more help with. Okay. Let's see. Let's change this background a little bit and give it some of these colors. Nice. What do we say? Just give it a little bit of a blur to make it look like he's flying. There we go. Okay. Now let's do like the midtones. Okay. So that would be like this green and the helmet. How are we doing time? Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm just kind of jumping all over the place right now, just grabbing midtones from all over. There we go. This is actually how you paint. I know it looks kind of messy right now, but you build up a character almost as if you were sculpting them. And then you continue to build them up, and then you start adding the details like this. And that's how painters do it a lot of times. You just kind of have to keep on adding to it and adding to it. And what's good about paint, that's why paint can be so thick, and you can keep on adding more. then you can start adding in like the finer details and like little chips in his armor and gear and stuff. And all of a sudden it starts to look a little bit more like what you were trying to do from the start. Voila. All right, definitely not finished. But I think we came up to a spot where it was actually like pretty decently well rendered. Okay. Yes, Toothless is on here. Let's do Toothless as a quick pose. All right. So let's give ourselves 2 minutes to get Toothless. Okay. 2 minutes. All right. Pick your color. Pick like this dark orange color. Ready to go. And here we go. Ready, set, go. 2 minutes. The trick is to get the general shape first, and then you can go in and do the details later. All right, we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. $55 seconds left. All right, I'm going to throw in some spot color here. $15 seconds. Some teeth. Just for fun. That looks kind of weird. All right, and that's time. How'd you guys do? Oh, the light fear. Ah, missed opportunity. Good point. All right. All right. Okay. We're gonna have to save that last one for another time. I was gonna try to draw a dragon, which is a mix between a dragon and a rabbit. So maybe instead, for another class, do you guys have any animal amalgamations, like where you mix 2 different animals together or 3 different animals together? Do you have any of those that you'd want me to include? Because I was going to draw a dragon, which is a mix between a rabbit and a dragon. But let's just make that like a full class. We're going to mix and mash, do like mashup class. And we can, and I could just mix 2 different animals together. So let's just start like that. So send me in the comments, write down 2 animals that you want to see me mix together, and then we're going to draw all of them. We can do probably between 6 and 4 in one class. So send me what you want to draw, those mixtures, those mashups, those animal mashups, and we'll do that. Okay? Okay. So your challenge of the day is to draw a picture by first shading the paper and then drawing with your eraser. So I want you to, okay, dragons, yeah. Snow frog. Oh, frog and toad mixture? A frog and toad mixture? I feel like that would look pretty similar. Chimera. What's a chimera mix? Is that a real animal? I feel like I've heard of that before. Good. Awesome suggestions, guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Now, for your homework, for your challenge of the day, you're going to draw a picture where you're going to shade in the paper completely. You're not even going to do the shapes like we did with the polar bear. You're going to shade in the entire thing. And then I want you to erase out the picture with your eraser. And then that's how you're going to draw that. Today's the last day. Today's the last Friday, or it's not the last day. We're going to continue on Tuesday just like regular. Then we're going to do Thursday just like regular. And then on Friday, I'm going to be filming, like recording tutorial videos for like specific things that we've been doing. And they're going to be like shorter, like 1 to 3 minute videos. And then I'm going to post those on my site, on my YouTube channel, so that you guys can just watch those instead of me taking time each class to do that. I could just like direct you guys to that video. All right. For between 4 and 6 different characters. So if you guys suggest like a mashup, I can only do 4 or 6 of those mashups in a class. Let's see. There we go. Submit your drawings, of course, that you did today. I'd love to see. We did a lot of painting today and a lot of drawing today, and I'd love to see those pictures. So definitely send me them. Send me an email, noahfontana@gmail.com. Or you can DM them to me on Instagram, and my links are below. What should we draw next? Yes. So you guys are already commenting. This is awesome. If you have any other suggestions on things that you want to draw, like if you want to learn how to draw trees or food or something like that, I think we actually did get a recommendation for food, which is on my list. If you told it to me, I put it on my list. It's gonna happen. If you really want to do it though, send me another message again. Because then I'll be like, okay, this one like a lot of people want to do. If you want to help support, you can donate below. We have a link. Simple. And don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe so that you get notified when I do go live, which will be really cool because that way you don't even have to worry about it if you forget. Next Tuesday, we're going to be drawing feelings. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get your colors out. Get your markers out, get all that stuff out, and I will see you guys next episode on Tuesday. All right, bye.